The commission is a body that is appointed by City Council to a limited term in office, and it is their duty and function to receive complaints and investigate, mitigate, and sometimes adjudicate those complaints of unlawful discrimination that occur within the corporate limits of the City of Decatur. Obviously, first and foremost and most common is employment, but also in credit and lending practices. It can be real estate transactions, and that would involve a landlord-tenant situation as well as real estate brokers and potential home buyers. Or it can be places of public accommodation, any business that's open to the public offering goods or services for sale. Anyone who feels that they have been discriminated against should come to the Human Resources Office and obtain a packet that's available there, and it's called You May File a Charge Packet. We ask that you complete that packet in its entirety, not to sign the last page, that has to be notarized, but to complete all the information and then submit it back to the Human Resources Officer. Once that packet's received, then the Human Rights Officer will review it and make contact with the complainant and set up an appointment for them to come in and to go over the information provided and to do an in-depth interview and an intake process. The Human Rights Officer may find, after he investigates the charge, that there is insufficient evidence to continue, and then he dismisses the charge. It may be that there's sufficient evidence to continue the pursuit of the investigation and even go a step higher than a charge, and that's filing a complaint, scheduling a public hearing. However, there is always an open door for mediation or conciliation between the parties, stopping short of an actual adjudication by the Commission. In other words, the parties may get together and reach a mutual settlement or an agreement, and at that case, generally the complainant, the person complaining of the discrimination, withdraws their charge voluntarily upon the terms of the settlement being reached. If no settlement is reached, then obviously we can't mitigate it, so it moves on to a hearing, and then the Commission's put in the position of a trier of fact, and they adjudicate whatever evidence is there, either finding in favor of the complaining party or in favor of the accused. Well, there are a number of remedies available under the City Code. First of all might be an order from the Commission for the offending party to cease and desist any further acts of unlawful discrimination. It could be that in most cases, let's say it's a place of public accommodation that denies services or goods to a customer based on unlawful discrimination, then the Commission could order that establishment to offer the services and goods to the customer. Most of our cases that come before the Commission seem to be employment cases. In fact, 90% of them are cases about employee-employer disputes that involve alleged unlawful discrimination. In those cases, the Commission could, if a person's been terminated, for instance, order the employer to pay back all wages that the employee did not receive as a result of the discipline or the termination. In some cases, depending on how long the process has been ongoing and trying to adjudicate and how cooperative the parties have been, there may be interest tacked onto that money owed that can also be repaid. The complainants are entitled to actual and compensatory damages, sometimes referred to as pain and suffering, if the evidence is there to support those type of things. One of the other main functions of the Commission is to educate the public about human rights and by way of protection for both employers and employees or business owners, to educate their personnel so that they don't fall prey to claims of unlawful discrimination or be adjudicated by the Commission. In order to do that, making contact with me, the Human Rights Officer, at the Human Resources Office of the City of Decatur, 424-2805, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m., we can schedule a presentation. And we have a number of different presentations available depending on what it is employers have. And quite often employers have specific instances or concerns they want addressed by way of training. Then we can tailor our presentations to fit those needs. I'd also like to point out that on the City of Decatur's website, under the Human Resources page, you'll find the Commission has a web page of their own, which this particular document and this document both are available in PDF file format by clicking on the links on the pages. The document here is a landlord-tenant handbook, which the Commission has authored to address many situations that are presented with questions about landlord-tenant rights. And it's a very comprehensive book, and most people found it very helpful to have that. This book is a question and answer format that talks about how the Commission works, how claims are investigated, what's a valid claim, what's not a valid claim, the authority of the Commission, and so forth. And this is automatically given out to folks who come in and file a charge. It may be beneficial for individuals who aren't real sure if they have a charge or if what they have qualifies as unlawful discrimination to, if they have internet access, to get on the city's webpage and to look this pamphlet up, follow the link, and read, because it's very explanatory about what is and what is not.